Welcome to MINDSHOCK True Crime. This is your host, Bruce McGuire.
And Maxwell Powers.
And today we are going over a monumental topic of importance. How to solve any case. Any cold case, any true crime case. A tall task, bold claims, the listeners might say. But we are going to present some very interesting strategies that are quite possibly irrefutable in terms of efficacy in solving any case. As always, if you like the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure your device allows those notifications to come through. If you like the podcast, hit the like button and share it across social media platforms. Make sure to like and follow our Facebook page for exclusive content. You can check us out on Twitter, Reddit, and Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case or topic requests. Maxwell, I'll let you go first. Take any case ever. You could take OJ, Jean-Benet Ramsey, Maura Murray, Stephen Avery, Elisa Lam, any case ever. Do you have a single strategy or maybe even top 3 strategies on how to solve any case definitively?
I don't have a strategy at all, so I don't know.
Are you saying you got nothing, Maxwell?
I got nothing.
That's a shocker. All right. I'm going to lay out my strategies. You can tell me what you think. Strategy number 1. Well, some of these are combined, but here's the main thing you can do. First of all, you need agency cooperation. So, for example, if you had a new type of government agency that trumps every other agency, so you don't have any of this bureaucratic red tape. So, for example, if you had some kind of federal cold case unit or major case unit for high profile case, you can use them for low profile, whatever, and it trumps everything. Now, I'm not saying the likelihood of this happening. That's not what this podcast is about. These are just strategies that would work if they were implemented. This is not about how difficult it is to implement them. That could be a different podcast. So with this new agency, if they just go into a local PD, they can see anything, interview anybody. They can go to the CIA. They can go to the NSA for satellite footage of anything, of any location, at any time, anywhere on Earth, or at least in the U.S. if we're talking about U.S. cases. So they can get all that satellite information. Unrestricted access to all cell phone data for cell phone pings, all that they can match up, and automatically approved. You could call them we could call them warrants for brain fingerprint scan. Every officer involved in the case, brain fingerprint scan. Let's get everything on the table. Every single suspect, every single person of interest, every single family member and or friend, no one is allowed to deny. Now, I know we're going into some George Orwell territory in terms of legality and totalitarianism and control, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about just solving the case. Could you solve the case with this strategy? What do you think so far, Maxwell?
It's okay.
That's all you got?
I don't know. You want everyone fingerprinted and brain scanned?
No, nobody said anything about fingerprinting. Brain fingerprinting. Do you remember in Making a Murder, the brain fingerprint scanned Avery? We're going to do a dedicated podcast on the brain fingerprint scan. It's basically it's like a lie detector that you can't trick because it's going by your brain waves, not your intentions or mannerism or your sociopathic properties where you could just not care and lie about killing people. That doesn't matter. The brain fingerprint scan.
Is the methodology like asking questions and then you can determine whether it's true or false?
If the information is recognized or not by the brain, so it doesn't matter if they're trying to lie or not lie. That's irrelevant. It only measures the recognition.
So you can show like a crime scene photo and if the brain reacts and like who determines the brain activity as stimulated to be
so this is scientifically
stimulated to be representing Like I don't
Yeah,
know the method.
it's
So
already been scientifically proven with this response, and it has
wait,
been.
wait, 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 wait. Before you go on, what happened with Stephen Avery?
What do you mean?
Like you said, it was done to him. Like what was the result of that?
He had no idea what happened to Teresa Hallback.
No kidding.
They brought. Wait, didn't you watch Making a Murder? What, Maxwell? We went over this. We went over this a million times, Maxwell. Avery
Wait. So wait. Who ordered or who suggested that?
Zellner had. Well, Zellner had this guy who's an expert. We'll go over this on our dedicated brain fingerprint scan podcast. This isn't the podcast for that, Maxwell. We already discussed.
Damn, that's really cool. I didn't even know that. That's so awesome.
Well, you were part of the conversation in the Avery podcast in those first episodes of the Avery case where we went over this on the Stephen Avery. But we actually talked about
Did
this
I
at
wait?
length.
Did I comment on it
I mean, you were involved in the conversation. You knew about it. You made some kind of comments.
about the brains printing thing?
Yeah, you should go back and listen to it to see
Ah,
what you thought about it.
damn.
Since you don't know, but it has been accepted in court cases before by judges because it's scientifically proven that this brainwave response is undeniable. So it doesn't matter whether you're a psychopath or you're innocent. Either your brain recognizes information or it doesn't. So obviously there could be other issues with the test, and we'll go over that. But in general, it's light years ahead of any kind of lie detector test, and it's used by the military. So it's used by the CIA and all these agencies. So I don't think they would use it if it didn't work. But anyway, because they're specifically dealing with agents of all kinds, possibly foreign assets. They know they could trick a lie detector test. That's why they're using brain fingerprint scan because it doesn't matter whether the person's trying to be deceptive or not. It's completely irrelevant. It bypasses all of that. But anyway, with my strategy to solve any case here, so if you had some kind of overseeing agency that's automatically granted all access, all files, and they can brain fingerprint scan anybody. So that includes police officers. So you'd have the first responding officers. That includes judges, prosecutors, Ken Kratz per se. So even if Avery wasn't set up, at least you would you'd have more information. You'd be like, oh, law enforcement knew that he didn't do it, or they thought that he did it and they intentionally planted and framed him because they knew the evidence wasn't there. That's already a step ahead of the game because then you could already say, okay, this wasn't an honest investigation. Same thing with the Murray case. You could brain. I mean, other than the people that are already dead, so that's unfortunate. So obviously, the colder a case is, you'd have less people to brain fingerprint scan. But as of right now, I think that's the best strategy. So without getting sidetracked on the science of the brain fingerprint scan, which we'll be going over in a dedicated episode, because some people write off the test without actually looking at the scientific literature, which we will go through in depth. But yeah, Maxwell. So what do you think? You think that could solve any case if there was an overarching agency that could have access to everything at all times, especially that satellite information, right? Like, because if you had satellite footage, you could track anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I always thought, like you know how we have like these, um, you know how people are like, well, some people are kind of like paranoid about privacy, so they don't turn anything on as far as like location tracking. It's like
Yeah.
I think that can actually be useful in some cases where, like, if let's say if you're in a Google map and you use the GPS, and if you turn it on, um, you can have a record with Google that you were somewhere else. That when if you're being blamed for a murder or something.
Yeah, but that would only prove your phone was somewhere else.
Well, you can if you want to, and you have a, I don't know, I guess a camera there to prove. I don't know that
No,
too.
you need multiple sources, of course, but that's the other thing. Like if there was an overarching agency that had all access to everything, you just go into any store and get and pull the footage.
So pretty much like that's so weird because that's kind of like, hmm. I mean that's so weird because it's police state pretty much because
I mean, we could add some caveats. We can say you have to prove that that person really is a person of interest. But as far as the police state, it's already a police state anyway. It's not like you're installing cameras anywhere. They're already there. It's not like you're putting up a satellite. It's
hmm.
already there. It's just
Actually no, I was thinking in terms of like also in a free world too. Like I think local laws or like voluntary law, or not voluntary
Well,
law, but
let me adjust this. Instead of a government agency, what if it was a private agency with private citizens that had all access? That would solve it even faster because then you wouldn't have these people. You wouldn't have that blue wall with
yeah,
law
yeah,
enforcement. You
that'd be
wouldn't have.
awesome.
Yeah, it would be private citizens with unrestricted access, and the private citizens could brain fingerprint scan all the law enforcement officials.
Yeah, that might actually be better. Take the police
Yeah,
out of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Take the state out of it. I think we could solve any crime just from that, just from
Yep.
just free market.
Yeah, but just having this access to this information, because then all these people hiding things, that would all be revealed, and then there would be less corruption, less wrongful convictions, and you could kind of focus on the real perpetrators in cases where there was no shadiness by law enforcement.
Now I'm thinking back to the first question you asked me, like if I had a strategy, then like my generals, it's a generalized strategy, but pretty much just a free market would solve it because it has a domino effect.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually cases where parents have sued the police department to get all the files related to their missing child's case because they couldn't solve it, and they weren't releasing the files. So hopefully that'll happen in the Maura Murray case, the largest file in New Hampshire state history that, according to some, doesn't exist, but at the same time, they already stated it was the largest one ever. So
That's so weird.
yeah, you got all this wackiness, but yeah, if you had more, yeah, a private citizen agency that had the authority and unrestricted access to all these individuals and files, that would solve everything real quick. Because even if you're going back, like these satellite images, now again, I guess flat earthers would say there's no satellite, but these, what would we call them? I guess high altitude planes, they would say there. Whatever it is up there that's taken, whatever is up there, however high, that's taking all this video of movements of people. You could use that information. I mean, is there any place on Earth right now that's not monitored from the sky?
Yeah, but I don't know how much. I mean, how much did they take? Did they take videos from the sky and shit? Like, how much data can it store? And I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
You mean the government with trillions of dollars? You think they can't afford extra hard drives? I mean, what? I'm not.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how that works right now. I mean, you know that base, not base. What do you call that place in somewhere in the mountains? Like they have this $1 trillion data store place. You know about that, right?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, damn, you gotta look that up. They have it. But
Okay.
wait, isn't that where like what's his name? What's that guy? Rhymes with Snow, the spy American person that was wanted
Snowden.
because he
Snowden.
Snowden. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that's where he came from.
Well, what's yeah,
Some data
I don't
facility.
think the government is so strapped for cash that they can't afford some hard drives. Yeah, I don't think that's an issue
Oh, yeah,
now.
but you're thinking in terms of like state funded, tax funded. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
You mean like $1 trillion black budgets? Yeah, I don't think the $1 trillion black budgets have an issue with, you know, buying up a couple extra hard drives.
All right. All right.
All right, so yeah, those are some top strategies. You got any other ideas, Maxwell?
That's it. Free market.
So there you have it, Maxwell Powers. Free markets would solve most crimes, if not all. My idea is again, whether it was a private brigade of citizens or some kind of a private organization of citizens, or even government agents, whatever, as long as they weren't corrupt, you can make the argument that all agencies would become corrupt. But in any case, if you had unrestricted access to all personnel and file and satellite images, all security footages everywhere at all times, tracking devices in vehicles and cell phones at all times, you could probably solve any case, especially if you could dig up that data, because I would think that data exists going back quite some time. So, not forever, but a bit of time. And I think with the right motivations, it could have been uncovered, particularly certain satellite imagery. But if you have any ideas in the comments section on the best strategies to solve these cold cases, feel free to leave them there. Any questions, comments, thoughts, theories, rebuttals, debunkings, all leave them in the comments section. If you like the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. If you like the podcast, hit that like button and share it across social media platforms. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, and Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off.
And Maxwell Powers.
Catch you guys next time.